I want us to know that if you don't talk, bro, if you don't talk, nobody cares. Everybody is fighting their own battle. Everybody wants to achieve their own dreams. Everybody is on and on looking for their own carnal stuff. You see, so if we sit down and sit on our hands and stop talking about what matters, nobody will talk about it. So we have just to talk about it, and we have to sanitize ourselves. Let me tell you something. Some people will preach confidence, will tell you how confident you should become, but they don't know what it takes to be confident. So speaking, genuinely correcting somebody, genuinely speaking what matters, it is not easy, because we are in a society where people want to be pleased, want to do something, somebody be happy. You want your wife to be happy by buying her something. Being real is not easy. It takes time. So let's take the challenge of growth. Grow your confidence, grow your esteem, and for those things to grow, you need to become conscious about what is going on, and detach yourself from things. Yeah, it is a process, but if you are in the journey going to the peak, then you have to take it. But if you are a mediocre, don't, because you'll not make it. There's a lot of stumbling, and nobody will accept you or anyways. So today, guys, I want us to read one thing. There's some things I want you to be aware that are controlling the world, things which are controlling the people's mind, the people's activities, our daily lives. I want you to be aware about these things. Number one, religion is controlling the people. A large population in the world is controlled by religion, either Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, Hindus, atheists unasikia pia nao wanakuja. It's controlling some percentage of the people. So religion is number one. Two, we have politics, we have culture as number three, we have environment, where we come from, we have even our own habits. Some people develop habits which controls them all the time. But now I want us to talk about specifically, I want to give this message to the church. And please, if you have your Bible, this, I'm using NIV. If you have your Bible, open the book of 1 Corinthians. This is not preaching, don't mistake me. I'm sanitizing. Listen very carefully. I'm not preaching here, I'm teaching. I'm not a pastor. I'm passing this message to whoever who is ready to listen and understand and be aware what is going on and what we have to do. Some verses here are not read because people want to fulfill their own interest. So if you open the book of 1 Corinthians, soma hapo 14. 1 Corinthians soma 14 yote. Soma 14 yote mpaka no, tusome tu I think mpaka 24. Intelligibility in worship. That is the title. Intelligibility in worship. Intelligibility is derived from two words, which is intelligence and ability to worship. Intelligibility in worship. Kukuwa na maadili, kukuwa na hekima kwa kuabudu, kukuwa na uwezo wa hekima, kukuwa na hekima na uwezo wa kuabudu. Intelligibility, the ability to interpret things while you're worshiping. Intelligibility in worship. I will read 14 chapter 14 verses number 1. I will start. Follow the way of love and eagerly desire gift of spirit, especially prophecy. For anyone who speaks in tongue does not speak to the people, but to God. Indeed, no one understands them. They utter mysteries by the Spirit. But the one who prophesies speaks to the people for their strengthening, encouraging, and comfort. So they are talking about two people here. The one who speaks in tongues speaks to God, but the prophecy speaks to the people. Yes. Now we continue. Number 4. Anyone who speaks in tongues edifies themselves, but the one who prophesies edifies the church. I would like every one of you to speak in tongues, but even more to prophecy. I will repeat that verse. Anyone who speaks in tongue edifies themselves, but the one who prophesies edifies the church. I would like every one of you to speak in tongues. I think that is Paul speaking to the Corinthians. Yes. So he preaches further. He says, I would like every one of you to speak in tongues, but even more to prophecy. The one who prophesies is greater than the one who speaks in tongues, unless someone interprets, so that the church may be edified. Now, brothers and sisters, if I come to you and speak in tongues, what good will I be to you, unless I bring you some revelation or knowledge or prophecy or word of instruction? Even in the case of lifeless things that make sound, such as the pipe or harp, how will anyone know what tune is being played unless there is a distinction in the notes? Again, if the trumpet does not sound a clear call, who will get ready for battles? So it is with you. Unless you speak intelligible words with your tongue, how will anyone know what you are saying? You will just be speaking into the air. Undoubtedly, there are all sorts of languages in the world, yet none of them is without meaning. If then I do not grasp the meaning of what someone is saying, I am a foreigner to the speaker, and the speaker is a foreigner to me. So it is with you. Since you are eager to gifts of the Spirit, try to excel in those that build up the church. I think we have to continue with this next time. Do you understand what it means? Did you get what it means? There are two people here. There is a person who speaks in tongues. I don't know. And there is this second person who prophesies. When you speak in tongues, you are speaking to God. But when you prophesy, when you give prophecy, you are talking to the people. You empower the church. You empower the people. Anamalizia huko, nimemalizia verses number 12. Hapo ndo nimemalizia. It says, chapter number 12 inasema aje? Inasema, so it is with you, since you are eager to gifts of the Spirit, try to excel in those that build up the church. What are we really dwelling on here? Speaking in tongues, or the gifts that builds the church? What are the gifts that we as church members, as the leaders of the church, practice that empowers the church, that builds the church? Are we dwelling in speaking in tongues, or we are dwelling in a gift? When you ask God, give me this gift, oh God, I need this, and God blesses you with a certain gift, is that gift blessing the church? And sometimes other pastors despise other gifts. When a pastor is a prophecy, so it despises people who speaks in tongues. When we have a pastor who speaks in tongues, he despises the teachers. What are the gifts that we neglect in church, which are supposed to build the church? People are coming to church to be empowered, which means or which formulas do we use, which gifts are we using to empower these people when they come and take their time listening from us as church leaders? What are we doing? What are we teaching the world? When you are speaking in tongues, it's like you're speaking to yourself, because nobody understands what you're saying. You're speaking to God. So when you're speaking to God, it's until you find somebody who can interpret this to the church, and then people understand what it means. And then if there's a prophecy coming, you need that prophet who will interpret what you have spoken to God and to the church. And then people will be warned, people will be enlightened, people will be blessed. So we should be very careful. We are going to go back and read in the next session. We'll read from chapter number 13. Ukipata time endelea kusoma, but we are going kuchambua ili tupate ufahamu and tujue what actually we are doing to the church. For now, see you in the next episode, and God bless you. Thank you.